Hello my dear students, let us continue with the same book, that is Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 1. So where did we stop is, there was a talk going on between Salarino and Antonio. They were telling that the reason of Antonio being melancholic and sad, no? So then after hearing their all comments, what happens? Antonio says that believe me, I thank for my fortune for it, my ventures are not in one bottom trusted. So Antonio is telling that luckily his merchandise, they are not in one direction, that they are not going in one direction. That means it is trading to all the directions, north, south, east, west, and then not to one place nor in my whole estate upon the fortunes of this present year. And he's also saying that my success doesn't depend upon this present year only. So if my one ship that is going to the north is being collapsed or wrecked or whatever the circumstances happens in the sea, so my other ships will definitely make the cumulate of whatever disaster had happened to one of the ship. No, so that will be covered. So he says that means the reason for his sadness is not because of his ship, which Antonio says. So upon my fortune of this present year, therefore my merchandise makes me not sad. So his merchandise, his ships are not making him sad. On that note, Salarino says, then why you are in love? On this, Antonio says, five means, that is nonsense. It's not that also. And then Salarino says, not in love neither. Then let us say why you are sad, because you are not merry, because you are not laughing. And it's not easy for you to laugh and jump. We are making a lot of here we are talking about very funny things, but you are unable to laugh. That means you are sad also. So just tell us the reason for not laughing. And then on this again Salarino says, I swear by the name of double-faced God Janus, the nature has since begun to create man. So when God Janus had created man, he created double-faced man, not a single face. That means a person who was created very before had two faces, and then queer people, some who are always laughing with half shut eyes or foolishly as parrots. So what happens? There are two faces man, where some that ever pour peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper. And there are some people who are so happy, who are so feeling they are so in a merry state that they laugh for a silly reason, and they laugh for a long time, which is not required. That means they are in a happy state. That means that is a happy phase. And similarly, the next phase, what we see, there are that sorrowful people. They are so sad that they can't forget their sorrow, and then they cannot even laugh for the silliest of the jokes also. Their faces are like vinegar aspect. That means vinegar, very sour. So similarly, the face is also compared to be a vinegar aspect. Very unable to laugh. Understood? Then what we see? And who look sour do not open their lips in a smile, even though there is a old grave man like Nestor would declare a joke worthy of laughter. So even if there, I said the silliest of the jokes, even if there is a joker or anything that would make you laugh at any cost, would never make the laugh to that person who is in a sorrowful state. That means two faces, and not the happy one, the sad face. That person is unable to laugh at any cost. And this Salarino says, here comes Bassanio, your noble relative, and along with Grisanio and Lorenzo. So there are three characters again entering the scene. They are Bassanio, Lorenzo and Grisanio. So who are these three? They three are Christians. They three all are friends of Antonio. Bassanio is the closest of all, and then Grisanio is a very talkative. He is also a friend, and Lorenzo also is a friend of Antonio. So what we see? Bassanio says that Grisanio, Lorenzo has come, so fare ye well. We leave you now with a better company. Salarino, I would stay till I had made you merry. On this note, again Salarino says that your good friends have already come. You are better or more close with them rather than with us. Okay, we would try our utmost like best to make you happy, but we cannot because your best company has already arrived. Okay, if worthier friends had not prevented me, just giving a he's just telling that if they would have not interrupted, maybe we would have made you successful in making you happy. Okay, Antonio says, in my estimation, you are not less noble, no less valuable. I believe you have your business to attend to. That is why take this opportunity to leave. So you tried your best. You are also a very good friend of mine. Okay, and you left your leisure. That means you gave utmost time to me, trying to console me and trying to bring me out of my sadness. Okay, unknown sadness. So then he says that I am really very thankful for it. Who says this? Antonio says to Salarino. Okay, then Lorenzo, Grisano and Bassanio enters. Salarino bids, good morning gentlemen. Then Bassanio says, coming forward, good gentlemen, shall we laugh? Tell me when. And we are making yourself rarer. Should it be so? Okay. Then Bassanio is telling that we hardly meet to Salarino and Solani. Okay, we hardly meet. When shall we sit for a long time and to spend some quality hours and all? So he is telling that when that day will come, because they are very busy. They don't meet each other. And then Salarino says, we shall find time to see when you are free. Okay, so this is just a normal conversation that goes when you meet when you meet a friend after a very long time. Okay. And then Lorenzo says, dear Lord Bassanio, now that you have found Antonio, we leave you too. Please remember, however, we are to meet for a dinner. So saying this, Lorenzo is telling, okay, it's time to leave Bassanio and Antonio for a short moment. So let them have good talk. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll be meeting you in the dinner table. Okay. After saying this, Bassanio is telling, I will not fail you. That means, yes, I will be there in the correct time. Grisano, you look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it, but do buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvelously changed. Okay, before going, Bassanio also is saying, as he is a very talkative person, he never miss those opportunities. So he is saying that, Antonio, sir, you are not looking well. That means his face itself is telling that he is sad. Okay, and the reason for that sadness for him is, that means he is too much caring, he is too much worried about the world affairs, no? So his opinion of the world, he has a lot of good opinion for people. That means, according to Grisano, he is very much caring for the world. Okay. And then people who are over anxious to secure this good opinion only manage to lose it. Trust me, you are greatly changed. So what happened? Those person who keep on getting worried about others' affairs, others' problems, that persons will always have sorrowful kind of state in them. They will never be happy because they don't, more than them, they will be thinking about others. That person will always be in sorrow. Yes or no? So that means Grisano is just opposite to that. He is very carefree. He doesn't worry. He has his own way of thinking. Okay. Then Antonio, I value the world as it is. Grisano, I regard it as a stage on which every living man has got to play to part, and the part living to me is a sad one. Okay. And then Antonio is telling that I hold the world, but as the world, Grisano. See, I am holding the world as you hold. The world is like a stage. Okay, and we are all here to play our own part, and for now my part is a very sad one. That means for now I am little bit sad. That is my role. Okay, and Grisano says, let me play the fool. This speech is a bit lengthier, so I will only explain you. You will have to go through it line wise. Okay, let me play the fool. That means let me be one of the foolish in the stage. Okay, let this world call me whatever in any names, any form of names, but I have my own ideology. So I'll play the part of a clown here. So even if I got a serious like a role to play, but I will never do. I will always play the role of a clown. Okay, let me live a life full of fun and laughter. And he's telling that at any cost, I just want to live a life which is having a lot of fun, that will never make me sad. Okay, and let that my wrinkles should come because of my laughter. When one person laughs, no, that means the face is all crooked, and then there is lot of laughter. Your face gets wrinkled. It seems like you are having wrinkles. That means laughing to the fullest. Understood? And then let my liver be heated with wine, that my heart depressed by sighs and spring with self-denial. And he is telling, and let my liver, it is not that okay. That means according to him, drinking alcohol is an enjoyment. Okay, he doesn't want to restrict on that note also. He says, no, I will drink and I will just enjoy my life. That means enjoying the best way. Though my liver gets damaged, but I will drink and I will enjoy. Okay. If it does not befit young man with warm blood in his veins, because according to when one person drinks alcohol, the body gets heated up, no? So what happens? He thinks that one person who is alive has to have a warm blooded, because once you are dead, everything is cold, no? So for him, a person who is alive should drink and live to the fullest. Okay, because if you are alive, you should show the gestures of being alive too. No, why you are half dead? Why to live like that? Why to the live to think with a mere that means this person cannot live with small things. The person has lot of big aspirations. Okay. Then he is also giving examples. See, why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandeur cut in alabaster? So means that, why should a man whose blood, that means is flowing, circulating, okay, warm blood, because the blood is circulating inside, so why will I sit like my grandfather, like my dead grandfather who is inside the tomb? That means he is a dead person, never show any kind of movement, no. Why will I behave like that if I am alive? Sleep when he wakes. Sleep when he wakes means, if you are alive, if you are waking up, why there is no movement in you? Why there is hardly a little bit of movement? You are free. You flaunt that you are alive, and then you are this life belongs to you, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish. So in that Elizabethan time, jaundice was not because of that just fever what we consider now, right? It is also because of that bad temper, okay, and just turning yellowish also. So then those person who were suffering with bad temper and lot of frustration, devastating, that kind of person were considered to be this one, jaundice. Okay, I tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and it's more love that speaks. And he's saying, see, you might be thinking that I'm speaking too much. I'm speaking because you are my friend. I'm just advising you. Okay, there are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pole. What he says, there are some people who are just behaving like the pool, that is stagnant. Pool that is stagnant means there are some bridges. We see there are big pools where there are lotuses also. What we see is there is a green color scum, kind of scum. So what happens? That is still. That means that is a stagnant water. It cannot flow. So there is no movement. Yes or no? So, and what happens? And do willful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit. So those, they are not moving. Until somebody throws a stone, then only there is a little bit of movement, no? So why to behave like that? Why people will people will force you to speak or to move, then only you will do it. It's not required. It's your life, you can do it. Okay. And then he says, that means for him, that is all for appreciating something. Okay. Wisdom, showing some kind of this one. Okay. He says that As who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I open my lips, let no dog bark. He's saying, if people would think that I am speaking too much, then let me consider myself to be the Greek oracle. Oracle means that god in Greek mythology who keeps on giving prophecies. No, and he's saying, when I speak, let no dog bark, means let no one speak and interrupt to me. Okay, when I am speaking, when I open my lips, let no dog bark, means that only. And oh my Antonio, I do know of this, that therefore only are reputed wise for saying nothing when I am very sure. If they would speak, they would almost damn those ears. And there are some reputed wise. Reputed wise, according to him, according to Grassano, reputed wise are those people who keep on speaking, who keep on giving their logic. Okay, and those people who don't speak. Okay, and why people are not speaking? Because they are showing kind of decency and they are showing little bit of respect. They hardly speak. According to Grassano, those people are fools, because when they speak, they'll speak something stupid. They don't have the knowledge to speak. That's why they are not speaking. See, he has different sort of thinking for people. Understood? And even if when they speak, no, they fool their own brothers also. Then I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with a melancholic bait. And saying, okay, about this I'll be speaking you much more. For now, don't speak with don't fish with a melancholy bait. Don't fish with a gudgeon. No, he considers one fish. Okay. For this full gudgeon, this opinion, gudgeon is that cheap fish which is very stale, which is not fresh. That means you keep on baiting a fish, and finally what fish comes out is a gudgeon. That means your whole thing went waste. Yes or no? That means, why are you wasting your energy? Why are you wasting your beautiful life for thinking and being sad? Okay, Grassano is trying to cheer Antonio in this way. Okay, and then says, come, good Lorenzo, fare you well, Alan. I will send my exhortation after dinner. I will complete my talk after dinner. Let us go. He's saying, that means he has not yet completed. You can imagine how much he speaks. Lorenzo, well, we will leave you till dinner time. I must be one of these dumb wise men, for Grassano never lets me speak. And Grassano is telling, and according to you, that means I am also one kind of fool, because you don't let me speak only. This is true. When Grassano speaks, no, nobody is allowed to speak. Forget about allowed. He doesn't let anyone to speak. He speaks so much. Okay. Grassano, well, keep me company with 2 more years, thou shalt know that the sound of thy own tongue. Means, yes, keep me along with you for 2 more years, you will forget your own voice. He says that to Lorenzo. Antonio, farewell, I'll grow taller for this gear. Thanks, Affaith, for silence is my commendable. Its neat tongue dried. Okay. And then Antonio says what? Antonio is asking, is there anything? Whatever he says, is it there? Makes any sense, or is just speaking out? On this, Grassano says, thanks Affaith, for silence is only commendable in needs tongue dried. So that means needs tongue dried means silence is only required for those animals. Okay, they are animals, they cannot speak, they are dumb. If they want to, then also they will speak something, they are just making some voices, right? So that is not meant for us. Silence is not meant for humans. We have to speak. Okay, Bassanio talks more nonsense than perhaps other man in Venice. The proportion of sense to nonsense to this speech is as 2 grains of wheat in 2 bushels of chaff. Only may spend the whole day in seeking them, and yet they found they are worth of nothing, the trouble of the search. Then best example, Bassanio is telling, the way Grassano speaks, no, just like you make like wheats, what is it? I think you understood that you hide a small grain, a single grain inside wheat's big, this one. pile up together. Okay, what happens, you took the whole day to search it, and finally when it is you get back, no, what is the use of that single grain? What will you do? That means it worth nothing. So that means you speak so much, but what is the summary, or what is the message that comes out is nothing. You will not understand anything. That means he speaks all topic, useless. Okay, and it is only troublesome, because there is nothing to become. Antonio, now tell me, who is this lady whom you intend to visit secretly and about whom you promised to speak to me today? Okay, and then what? Antonio is also asking Bassanio, you were telling me that you will be talking about the lady, right? Lady about whom you have you went to meet. Okay, and then what happens? Bassanio says Antonio that he's speaking about, Antonio keeps on providing him lot of money, no? So he is telling that I am providing, you have provided me with so much of sum. Okay, from that limited means would permit. You always, whenever I came to you always handed over lot to me. Then I'm sorry that I have to curtail that extravagant style now. What he is saying? From the first line itself, I will tell you. Okay. Bassanio, 'tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine state by something showing a more swelling pot than my faint. Okay, children, we will be completing this in the next class. Okay, till then you revise whatever is being taught. We will go in a small sum so that you understand clearly, and the exercises will be provided shortly. Thank you.